Greetings, everyone. It is the TonicMan with you once again. Here we are in the month of April 2023. You know what is significant about April 2023? Well, let's see. The most significant thing is that 33 years ago was the last time that Easter, Passover, and Ramadan all happened at the same time. So that is a special, and it's a great sign, all those three great religions together celebrating at the same time. The other thing that is really important is that my dad, Carl Jurak, began to commercialize his preparation in April of 1943. So that is now 80 years, folks, 80 years since he began to commercialize his preparation, which he called at the time, well, I think he really was commercializing it only because he really couldn't afford to give it away anymore. He used to make little batches and give it to people and give it to the needy. But he needed a little bit of something to help out, so he started charging a little bit for it. But it took off so big that, through word of mouth, of course, that in 1945 he formed a company and he called it MATONOL Research Limited. So then the business just took off, and he was busy making the product. Now, at that time, he started organizing our playroom on our house in Sillery, Quebec, as his manufacturing. And I remember going down there, and you would smell the herbs being extracted throughout the house. And I would go down there, and he was stuffing the herbs in his extractor and busy making his product. And it was pumped over to one of two garages. There were two garages in the house, and he converted those into a little warehouse for packaging materials and so on. And the other one was his production, bottling and labeling. And he had one person that he actually engaged full-time who was labeling bottles and filling the bottles and packing and shipping and so on. And that was enough to keep it going until it grew much bigger. But I remember as a school boy, and my brother Norman, who was 2 years older, going after school down there in the basement and going to see Edgar Laflamme was his name, and we used to call him Laflamme. And he would show us how to label the bottles. And in those days, it was a big paintbrush with glue, and he swiped it on the back of a label and then fixed the label on and wiped it off and so on. And then he filled the bottles and put a cap and then put a seal. And those seals in those days came in some kind of a liquid. They were already soft, and he would take them out of the liquid, put them on, and when they dried, they would seal the top of the bottle, the cap to the bottle. Well, in those days, it was hard to get bottles. My dad used to buy them at the bottle exchange, which was used bottles. Most of the time at the beginning, there were whiskey bottles, 40 ounces, or, there were 40 ounces. And he would sterilize them, clean them, and got new caps for them. But it was hard even to buy caps. So it was difficult during the war. You just couldn't buy whatever you wanted like you can today. And, of course, everybody had a ration book for your household goods, for your groceries, for your butter, for your... You were limited to a certain amount of sugar, limited to a certain amount of flour and butter and so on. And I remember my mother had these coupons, and you would tear them out and bring them to the store, and you could get one of these a month or two a month or whatever it was. It was the same for the gas. The gas was rationed. Everything was rationed. Everything was going towards the war effort. building munitions and armaments and so on, and sending food and goods and stuff overseas to help out. So it was tough, but he did it, and he kept at it. And of course, today, 80 years later, well, you're all part of it. The story is really long, complicated, fun, exciting. There are a lot of anecdotes. I've mentioned many of them over the past in the history episodes that I did. We're going to update all that and do it anew and make sure that all you new folks who maybe have not heard or have not been around all these years do hear the story, because it's a great one. And as I say many times, there were so many barriers in front of my father that at any given time he could have said, "Oh, forget this, I'll just do something else." But he didn't. He continued, and I'm thankful, because I'm 85 and 4 months old now. I mentioned the 4 months. And many, many people I still speak with are certainly in their 70s and many in their 80s who have been drinking the preparation for many, many years. They all feel better. They all look younger. They all go to the doctor less than all their friends of the same age. They all have less or no health issues. They sleep well. They can still get down on their knees and play with their grandchildren or great-grandchildren. All those things, of course, contribute to a wonderful quality of life. And one of the things that I always did throughout my life, even when I was not in business in the preparation in the 1960s, I used to make small batches first at home in my kitchen and then in my cosmetic laboratory that I developed after 1965 in the 60s, in the late 60s. And I'd make a batch and I would bottle it up and I'd give it to people like my dad used it, to anybody who I thought could use it or who would like to use it. And among other people that I gave it to, I gave, or I at least offered it to every girl that I met that I wanted to go out with. And some of them laughed nonstop. Others said, yeah, if it does what you're telling me it does, I'd like to try it. And strange as it is, over about 10 years, over all the 1960s and into the 1970s, the girls that drank it all remained much younger looking. Their skin was younger, softer. Everything about them was youthfulness. And that's when I started to think, you know what? My father created the fountain of youth. I kid you not. And I'm a bit of a testament to it. And we have folks who are a bigger testament to it. They look far younger than their age. 5, 10, 15, 20 years younger. And that happens when you drink this on a consistent basis, because it maintains your body. It actually regenerates it faster than normal. So it breaks down less quickly. So you grow old slower. That's the key. And so we do call it the youth solution. And one of the things I've always done in business from those days on, and then when I started to market it, everybody who came to work for the organization, I almost forced them to drink it. I really went after them. You know, you have to drink this. One of the reasons was if they drank it and understood how it worked, and it worked for them for something, whatever it was, keeping them younger or getting some health issue under control or whatever it could be, it would be a lot easier for them then to talk to our customers and members because they've experienced it. And when they talk, you know, that nonverbal communication that you get over the telephone, sometimes if you're alert, you can actually feel if a person's straight with you or not, or if it's just some kind of a story. And so when they're talking on the phone with people, that comes across. And if they're using it themselves and they say so, the person at the other end is more apt to say, really, well, that's great. If everybody at the company is drinking it and using it and getting those results, it must be good. That idea. So I always had that in mind, that whoever came to work with us, that's what I would try and do. Now, some people just refused, and most of the people who refused did so because they didn't like the taste. And they tasted it and said, oh, my good Lord, I can't stand this. I'm not going to drink it. Anyway, I used to be after them periodically. We always had bottles on every desk in the kitchen, in the cafeteria. Whatever we had, we always had some bottles around. I always had a bottle on my desk. I had a bottle in my car. I had a bottle everywhere, never knowing when it's time to open one and give somebody a shot and get them on it, you know. So one of those ladies who is working with us now, her name is Barbara. Many of you may have spoken to her already or probably received an email. I'll let her tell you about all that and remind you of what maybe you did hear from her or spoke with her. But she is one of those ladies that I offered it to, and I said you should drink it. She was a little older. We do have a number of folks that we have part-time who are retired or semi-retired, who only want to do a few hours a week work, and that's fine for us. So Barbara is one of those ladies, and I've invited her to join us and tell us how JC Tonic has changed her life, because it started from her saying, I can't stand this taste, until, well, I'm going to let her tell you the story. So here she is now, and when I've finished discussing with her and she finishes her story, I'll come back at the end of the call and just comment a few more things. But in the meantime, and first and foremost, let's hear from our pal Barbara, who has a great story to tell you. Barbara, come on down and tell everybody what's going on.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here, and I thank Anthony for giving me this opportunity to speak to everyone. You may have spoken with me or received an email from me or a text. I've worked for Anthony since 2018. And I was working for Anthony during the COVID time and the time of the supply chain issues. And it's because of that, I can say with 100% confidence, I know that JC Tonic works for me. And here's my story. I'm a reasonably healthy person. I do take some prescription medication, but a low amount. And I'm 72 years old. I work for Anthony a couple of hours every day on a part-time basis, and I'm thankful to be able to do so and for him allowing me to do so. And he's a good person to work for and very generous. And as he said, he does encourage us to drink tonic. When I first began working for Anthony, I didn't really have any interest in any kind of supplements whatsoever. I had taken vitamins in the past, but not really supplements of this nature. And I tasted it, and I was like, no, thank you. But I do have an issue with anemia. Yeah, well, you know, this is my story, Anthony.
Well, the taste will get us every time, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, but you know something? My need for it overcame any amount of hesitancy over the taste. I have a pretty severe problem with anemia, and I'm watched by my doctors via blood tests every couple of months to make sure that I'm doing well. So it was noted in my blood work that I was falling down a little bit. I'm not going to say it was a lot, but I was definitely missing my tonic. when we had supply chain issues, everyone had to cut back and be careful, even myself as an employee. Generally, I take an ounce of tonic with just a little bit of water in a cup. I put it next to my bed right before I'm ready to sleep. I just shoot it down like a shot. I don't even think about the taste. Is it good? Is it bad? I consider it like it's a medicine for me. It gives me life. It gives me health. Why do I say this? Because I noticed feeling a little less energy, feeling a little less perky, dragging a little bit when I didn't have the full access to the tonic. Like I said, I take 1 ounce a day, but there's times during the week that I feel I need an extra boost of energy, or if I've eaten something that, isn't quite going the way it should. At 72 years old, my digestion is not what it once was, and I can always count on the tonic to help me out of any situation. If I'm tired, the tonic gives me a good night's rest, and it gives me energy. It has the ability, it has iron in it, so it's supplementing my anemia issues. And basically, I really just love it. And I would never want to be without tonic because it makes me feel great. At 72 years old, I feel 20 years younger, or I don't know, let's say 15 years younger. I look 10 or 15 years younger. I have some gray in my hair that came in recently, but I have pretty good amount of hair because I drink the tonic. And my nails and my skin are in great shape because I drink the tonic. It also helps make my moods more consistent. I'm consistently on the bright side of things. I'm consistently in a good mood. A lot of that comes from the tonic. It's great. It's just great. So mentally and physically, everything about it. It's good for cholesterol. I don't have any cholesterol issues. I just think it's terrific.
Did you have any of those issues before, like cholesterol, Barbara? Was that measured and told to you that your cholesterol is getting high, for example, or were you not in as good a mood prior to drinking tonic? And what happened with the anemia? Did that show in your new blood work, or does your doctor mention anything that you've changed a lot? Do they say you look younger, you are younger? Because you've been drinking it now for, I guess, consistently 3 or 4 years, right?
Right. I've been drinking it consistently, I would say 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And what has helped me the most is it sustains what good functioning parts of me, were still there. It sustains them, keeps me well. So it keeps my energy up. It helps me sleep. As far as blood pressure and cholesterol, I am doing the same. So if I'm doing the same now as I was doing even 10 years ago, that is doing great because I'm not 60 anymore. I'm 72. And I'm doing
and it's
just
not
as
getting
well.
worse. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not getting worse at all. Actually, the cholesterol has gotten better, much better. I have to confess that I have, a love of chocolate, and I love, cookies and cakes and things, and I eat a lot of sugar and things with cholesterol. And after having the tonic in my system these 3.5 years, the cholesterol has come way, way down, way, 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 way down.
But not the cookies and chocolate. They're still the same.
I hate to admit it, but yeah, they're almost the same.
Well, that's even a better sign. If you did not have to reduce any of that and the cholesterol came down, that's a heck of a good sign, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I still enjoy a lot of chocolates and little cakes and things because why not? It doesn't hurt me. It's not affecting me negatively. And that is something that is easy for me to digest as well. I eat ice cream and other kinds of things also because they're easy to digest.
Well, if it's not affecting you adversely and not gaining weight and not creating cholesterol or other problems, then why not? It's fine.
Well, actually, now that you mentioned weight, Anthony, I lost more than 10 pounds in the last 12 months. In the last year, I lost more than 10 pounds.
Not doing anything with your diet, just started losing weight.
Yes and no. I mean, I found that, as I said, my digestive system is no longer that of a teenager. So I did have to cut back on the quantity of food, but I did not cut back on the variety. I still have plenty of vegetables, pastas, and proteins,
and all the good stuff.
And good stuff all day long. I mean, I'm just really lucky. I don't want anyone to think that I'm recommending this as a diet, but it is something that I'm able to do, and I'm pretty sure it's because the tonic is regulating me and helping me stay well.
That is the best advice for people. If they can enjoy all the finer things in life and still have a balanced system and get rid of their aches and pains, then you can count on it. It is working, that's for sure. And at 72 years of age, that is so important for so many people, because after 60, it seems to be downhill very quick for a lot of people, you know. So it's good to know that that part of your life is maintained and has actually improved. And the anemia, is that under control now?
The anemia is something that we watch. It's under control. I am drinking the tonic every day because of the amount of iron in it and how it does help to oxygenate the blood, which is all part of the anemia. So it's under control. It's not getting any worse. And Anthony, I just want to say that it does what it says. It does what you say, and it does what we tell people. I mean, it's the truth. It's really good for you. It makes you feel good, and it makes you do good. This very morning, I have a little patio outside, and I was painting the edges of the floor because last week I used my roller on a long stick, and I rolled out the paint on the floor, and then today I painted in around all the edges. So now the patio has a nice, clean floor. At 72 years old, and not even think twice about it, whether I could do it or can't do it. I can do anything that I want to do.
If you were not drinking the tonic, you probably would have thought twice about it before doing it.
I don't even think I would have entertained it at all. I would have just hired someone and asked them to do it for me. I would never have thought of it, no.
Well, that also is a really good sign of energy and youthfulness. And as, of course, we tell folks, it's a youth solution. And you are looking younger, and your nails show that you're younger, and your skin and your hair and all that.
You know, I was about 65, which is before I met you and before I started working for you and drinking the tonic. When I was about 65, I did notice that my hair was thinning out, part of aging. But when I started drinking the tonic for other reasons, I wanted to help boost my iron levels, but the amazing side benefit was that my hair started coming thicker and thicker. And so now at 72, I probably have more hair than I might have had at 65. And yes, my nails are strong and good, and my skin is good, and I heal up very quickly. And on the topic of skin, Anthony's also so generous to let me have Helena cream. And the Helena is fabulous. I got a new necklace recently, and it irritated the skin with little tiny skin tags that sort of popped up. I find as an elder person now, my skin is quite sensitive. The Helena is great. It takes away any kind of irritation or itchy feeling. And I use it on my face, usually in the mornings, and it really gives it a glow. So I think Helena is a fabulous product as well.
Well, I think, Barbara, we should hire you having such glowing reports.
You can hire me, that'd be fine.
That is really outstanding. I love the idea of all the things that have improved over the last 3 years that normally folks of your age, it only goes downhill. And you, it's the exact opposite. And that's what folks can expect no matter what age they are. Everything will start to come to a standstill, and then the body will even start to look and feel younger. And again, it's happened with you, and thank you so very much for sharing that. Folks, all of you listening, you'll be talking to Barbara one time or another, or getting a text or an email. Don't be shy to talk about what we're talking about on this call. She'll be happy to fill you in on any questions that you may have where you still may be doubtful a bit. We're all a little bit doubtful. She was, most people are. It's after you get that first bottle in you that all of a sudden you start to see the light, so to speak. Well, Barbara, appreciate it. Thanks a lot for sharing that. It's great that you're part of the organization.
Anthony, thank you. Genuinely grateful and honored to have the privilege that my work is for something that's meaningful, that helps other people. It really is a blessing in my life in that way as far as my job, and it's a blessing in my life as far as what it's done for me internally. And I would also like to let everyone know that my cell number is 702-726-7309, and you can call or text me at any time.
That is super. Thank you so very much. Take Barbara up on her offer and call her and chat with her. And if there's any unanswered questions of what she said on this call, just ask her. She'll fill you in. Okay? Thanks, Barbara.
Right.
Okay, everyone. So there you have it. That is one example that is a great example for all of you that have somebody in the family the age of Barbara, who maybe is starting to have some health issues. And if no health issues, at least everybody in that age starts to feel weakness and not as much pep, not as much of anything, and the hair and the skin and everything is deteriorating. So please think in those terms, because if you can give it to your folks or your grandfolks or the people in your family that are over 60, this is going to change their quality of life immeasurably. They're just going to live better, they're going to be better, they're going to be happier, and hey, they're going to want even more to look after your children and babysit for you and so on. Whereas maybe now they find it a bit strenuous to be looking after youngsters or babies. So the idea of the JC Tonic, as it is now called, which is Jurak Classic Whole Body Tonic, is as a youth solution, meaning in the strict sense of the word, if you drink this on an ongoing basis, you will absolutely, without any question, be younger than your age. Absolutely, there is no question. Sure, it takes a little bit of time. It's not going to be for 3 months. The idea is like anything that's good for you. You have to do it on a continuous basis. When you start an exercise program or a swimming program or golf or any game, it only gets better and better if you keep at it. You can't do it for 2 or 3 months and that's it. So the same with the tonic. Sure, it's going to get you out of some trouble and some health issues in 2 or 3 months or 2 or 3 years. But if you drink it as a part of your lifestyle on an ongoing basis, it will continuously help your body regenerate and allow the body not to grow old as fast as it normally would. Plain and simple. The youth solution. So here we are, April 2023, 80 years since it's been commercialized, and it looks like it's going to continue for another 800 years? Okay, that's it. You know what to do. I'll see you on the next TonicMan podcast episode. And in the meantime, don't forget, take an ounce and feel the bounce. Bye for now.
Jurak Classic Whole Body Tonic is a dietary supplement, not a drug. Therefore, it is useful to affect the structure and or function of your body in various ways. But it is not intended to and will not cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent any disease. Individual testimonials may not be representative of everyone's experience and do not constitute scientific evidence. Jurak Corporation does not make any drug or treatment claims for its product.